Hello, everyone. So my name is Anna Burago. I live in Seattle. I run prime factor mathematical circles, and also we run School of Programming. So I think that I have a lot of expertise and how, why, and when to teach our younger students coding. And I think it's a very valuable expertise. So today I'll share some of our experience. We talked to Dave. We decided that it's probably a very good idea to describe like what we know about teaching younger kids coding. However, if you're interested in like more advanced coding environments or coding approaches that are suitable for like middle or high school kids, again, I am kind of an expert. I will be happy to present. But today I want to share our experience of teaching coding in Scratch. So let me start with a presentation. And so the idea of the lesson, we'll start with a presentation. I'll tell why Scratch, why is it good, what age is it suitable for, and then we'll finish by creating our own Scratch project. And do you mind if I start from asking a question? Do any of you like who ever coded in Scratch? Who knows how to code and like how relevant is this presentation is going to be? You can chat or you can unmute and say just if you ever coded, please share. If you ever taught, teach how to code, please share as well. Okay, Amihan, yeah, I see Scratch. It's nice. Okay, anyone else? Okay, so probably it's going to be a new experience to you. So I'm very glad that I've been invited to give you this presentation. So let me start from sharing my... Okay, so teaching coding with Scratch. And wow, first, why coding? Because coding was very important. Also, coding is very logical. It's very closely related to ideas that mathematics present. So you need to have the same set of skills, both for coding and for doing math. Also, in certain sense, coding is very easy. So today I'm going to talk about coding in Scratch. Scratch is a pretty recent visual learning environment, and Scratch was created to address a need to teach coding to younger kids who cannot type well, who want coding to be fun, who want coding to be easy, who want coding to be visual. And also for teachers who want coding to be fun, to be visual, to be enjoyable, and to be easy to teach. So Scratch, first couple of slides will be presenting benefits of Scratch. So first, again, Scratch is very visual, very intuitive, with a very slow learning curve, both for teachers and for students. It's drag and drop environment where you build your program from predefined coding blocks, just replacing some numbers, some parameters. So therefore, all you need to do, you need to focus on logic, on problem solving, and on learning important programming concepts without getting bogged down by syntax. Okay, code is very visual. When you're coding in Scratch, you always see the end result of your program. Your programs could be geometric, could be stories, could be games. Again, but you always get your visual feedback. If your coding is incorrect, if there is a mistake, then you really see it, and therefore it's much easier to figure out what's going on. Okay, why Scratch? Again, because Scratch is very creative. When you're coding in Scratch, there is this like logical aspect. You are thinking how to build your program, how to make it, but there is also plenty of artistic freedom. Students can draw, can design their own characters. They design their own visual interface. They can add music. They can record their own sounds. All this can be added to a program in a very, very easy, very visual way. So it's both an outlet for kind of logical thinking and problem solving, and also an outlet for creativity. Okay, oh, it's a double slide. Let's skip it. Okay, why else Scratch is good? Because there are plenty of resources there. So if you want to learn how to get started with Scratch, there is a Scratch community. There are a lot of tutorials and resources on the internet. There are a lot of tutorials on YouTube. There are books. And also, all like Scratch itself is free, and tutorials, Scratch tutorials are free, YouTube tutorials are free. So it's a great environment for someone who wants to get started with teaching students how to code and probably teaching yourself on how to teach students how to code. Now, at this moment, okay, so my presentation, as promised, was brief. I'll stop sharing my presentation, and instead I'll open Scratch coding environment in a browser, and together we'll create our first project. And if you're not ready to follow me at any moment, if I'm too fast, if you need some clarifications, if you have questions, feel totally free to interrupt me. And let's see, are you ready to move on? Okay, so what I do, I'll stop sharing my screen and I'll share my browser window. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so I have too many windows open, so let's just a second. Okay, so in my browser window, I'm typing Scratch. And actually the first link and the first search result that you end up with is this Scratch coding environment. Scratch is an online environment. You need to code in your browser. If you want to, there is a desktop application. You can code in desktop, but coding in a browser is very convenient. So clicking on Scratch, I end up in Scratch environment. And I do have my Scratch account. And I am already logged in. So I can see it because, like, right there is my name. If you have Scratch account, you're welcome to log in. If you don't have a Scratch account, it's fine. We still will be able to create our first program. Okay, so again, if you're not ready to move on, if you need more time, please interrupt me. But for now, like, there is plenty there. What we care about creating our first program. So therefore, we need to click on this create button. So it's precisely what I'm going to do. I'm clicking on create. And here you go. That's going to be our very first Scratch project. And first, let's take a look at the environment. So what we see there is we see several sections. The section on the left, the one that I'm highlighting there, is this collection of blocks, like building blocks, like Lego blocks, that we can use to build our program. Next, another section right there, totally blank, totally empty, will be the section that we'll be using for like real program that we'll create. Okay, there are two more very important sections. So one of those is the area on the right. It's where the end result of our program will be. That's where we'll see what our program does. And another important window, like under, this window has a list of characters that will be the actors of our program. Okay, let me erase all these annotations that I already created. There, all the drawings. And first thing that I'm going to do, right there at the very top, I want to give a nice name for my program because it's my first program. Like whenever you create a program, you need to give it a nice name. So I'll call it Anna. That was my name. It will be easier for me to refer to it later. And draw square. We'll start from drawing, like we teach mathematics. I want to show you how cool Scratch is for presenting some of mathematical concepts that we teach in our classes. And now I'm ready to start coding. So what I'm going to do, right now on the left, I see this block of blue instructions. Oh, actually, guys, let's do this. First things first, let me show you how to choose characters for your program. And okay, let me zoom down. Okay, yeah, now. So right now, there is this small window in the bottom right part of your Scratch screen, right there. Now, we have a character there. It's a cat. This is the main character of our program. And it's a default character, and I want to change this cat by something else. So the first thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to, right there, I'm going to click on this cat. And, okay, I'm sorry, it looks like my environment is dead. Let me feel like, okay. Oh, here are all the drawings. Okay, yeah. So first, I'm clicking on this cat sprite, on this icon. Immediately, I see this trash bin icon. I can remove this cat. I'm going to do it. But before that, I want to choose a different character that I want to work with. So therefore, what I'm going to do, I'm going to click on this icon like in the right bottom corner. So this icon, I'm clicking on it. Oops, it was too fast. One more time. So I'm clicking on this icon. It becomes green. And you see, I have this magnifying glass option that reads, choose a sprite. Choose a character for your game. I'm clicking on it. And I see a lot of sprites. Each of the sprites can be my character. I am going to do some like simple geometry. So therefore, I'll be drawing. I want a character that I am looking at from the top. And I already know there are several characters like this. So for example, I can choose a mouse. I started typing mouse. The mouse is there. And I can choose a bug. Like I can choose this bug, for example, or I can choose a ladybug. It's your choice. I'll choose a mouse. So I'll choose this mouse. I'm clicking on this mouse, And now it belongs to my scene as well. I have two characters. I have the mouse and the cat. Now I'm ready to remove this cat. I'm clicking on this trash bin icon and the cat disappears. Now my first program, my story, will be a program that asks this mouse to do things. Now let's start investigating. I'll drag my mouse. I can drag it around like with my real mouse. I'll put it somewhere in the center. Then on the panel on the left, I'm going to grab this instruction, this one. And I'm going to bring it to this panel on the right. Remember, I told you that's our panel for our future program. So far, so good. Nothing happened. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to click on this instruction. Move 10 steps. And what happens as I keep clicking? My mouse keeps moving on the screen. How far? It doesn't move far. Like, your steps are tiny, but it keeps moving to the right. I can drag it back. I can keep going. My mouse will keep moving to the right. Okay, what can I do with this instruction? The first idea, there is this number there, 10. So what I'm going to do, like into this slot, instead of this number 10, I'll type something else. So for example, I'll type 50. And I will click on this instruction one more time. Okay, now the steps of my mouse are bigger. If I type 100, then the steps of my mouse become very big. By the way, good thing is that your mouse cannot disappear. Like whatever you do, your mouse will be like at the edge of your, like it will never disappear behind the edge of your screen. Okay, to get my mouse back, I can either drag it somehow. Well, for me, it's not draggable today. So I can type this move, for example, 100, but with minus. And if I click back, you see my mouse moves backward, right, left. Okay, that was our first instruction. And in certain sense, it was our first program. The next instruction that I'm going to use, I want to learn how to turn my mouse. So I'll grab, for example, this instruction. It reads turn. So it will be something about turning. So I'll grab it here. And I'll click it. Okay. And you see, as I click it, my mouse keeps turning. And it's probably you already know like what's the angle of this turn. The angle of this turn is definitely defined by this number. And direction of the turn, clockwise or counterclockwise, is defined by this little arrow. So you can choose turn clockwise or turn counterclockwise instruction. And again, you can turn in positive direction. You can turn in negative direction. So first I'll turn my mouse back to face right. Okay, and then my goal is to draw a square, to ask this mouse to draw a square. So immediately, I don't want 15 degrees turns, it's a square. I want to turn by 90 degrees. So, okay, my mouse is turning by 90 degrees now. Okay, these two instructions, I can clip them separately, one after another. Move, turn, move, turn, move, turn, move, turn. In certain sense, my mouse does walk in a square. However, I should keep clicking these instructions, and I don't like them. I should keep clicking them separate. So instead, look, these instructions look like Lego blocks. They have these like things that kind of look like they fit together. So let's give it a try. What I'm going to do, I am going to combine these two instructions together. And after I did it, I can click on this instruction block, and you see what's happening. The environment executes these instructions together, move and turn. And wow, it happens very fast. I want to be able to see things. I want to slow things down. So I'll find an instruction that will allow me to slow things down. And actually, in order to do it, I'll need to switch from instructions that are colored blue, like instructions that are related to motion, to instructions that are colored in a different color. So right now, I want to go to controls. So what I do, with my mouse, I click on this controls icon. Right there. I have a totally different set of instructions that deal with something else. What I'm going to do, I'll choose the very first, very important instruction there. Wait. Okay. And let's see what is going to happen. I'll drag it. And guys, what I'm going to do, you see, like when I'm dropping this instruction to my existing block of coding instructions, like it kind of fits there very nicely. Instructions kind of part away to let me like plug this instruction in. So this instruction is called wait. And let's see, I added two of them to my code. And let's see what is going to happen. So now I am clicking to my program. And things become much slower. My mouse moves, waits, and then turn. I can really see the turn. Next, I want to be able to visually trace my turn. I want to draw. I want my mouse to drag a marker and trace its path. And here things will be just a little bit more challenging. So what I'm going to do now, please pay attention. I think drawing is very important, especially if we want to have visual programs that kind of illustrate geometric concepts. So therefore, we need to get a set of instructions that are related to drawing. But these instructions are kind of hidden. So right now, to access these instructions, first I need to click on this purple button in the low left corner. So by clicking on this, I get this. Let me illustrate one more time which button I'm clicking on. I am clicking on this purple button, low left corner. By clicking on this button, I am getting to set of what's called extensions, like extra capabilities that we want to add to Scratch. And what I want to add, I want to add an ability to draw. It's very nice. It's very cool. Like it's very cool if you want to combine mathematics and teaching coding. So therefore, I'm going to click on this. And after I clicked on this draw, let me erase my previous drawings. What the new stuff that we got, our add-on, our extension, that now appear right there on the left is called pen. So what I'm going to click on it. Now I have this bunch of green instructions. So these green instructions are all about drawing. And what do you think I should do if I want to start drawing? which instruction will be good? Probably not erase, not stamp, but pen down is a very good instruction. Think about this. Each sprite has a marker in their pocket. But in order to start drawing with this marker, you need to instruct your sprite to put this marker down. So pen down. Drag this instruction at the very, very start. And let's click on this big block of instructions one more time. Okay. Now my mouse is drawing and turning, and indeed it's tracing the square. But I'm lazy. Basically, to trace this square, I need to click on my block of instructions 4 times. Wow, I want to create such a block of instructions that I click on it just once and my mouse would trace the entire square. So I want a repetition. So this set of instructions is very good, but it's very good for one side and one turn only. But we want to repeat it. We want to repeat it 4 times. And in programming, in coding, whenever you need to repeat something several times, you need to start looking for instructions that do these repetitions. So now let's take a look at the block of instructions that we already investigated just a little bit. Controls. I'm going to click on controls. Now, there is this nice instruction there. This instruction reads repeat. And I'll drag these instructions into my workspace area. Right there. Okay. And what do I want to like this repeat instruction? It's like an open hand. So basically, whatever you put there will be repeated. Will be repeated as many times as you want, like as this number specifies. I want a square. I want this thing to be repeated 4 times. So 4 times. Then what do I want to be repeated? I want this block of 4 instructions, move, wait, turn, wait, to be repeated. So what I do, I drag this block of instruction. It disconnects very easily. And as an entire block, I drag it slowly. And you see, I'm dropping it there. This repeat instruction expands to accommodate this block of instructions that I want to add there. Now, when it happened too fast, but let's do it one more time. So first, I'll drag one more very useful instruction. I'll go back to pen. I'll drag this instruction erase all, like it was the very top one. Now, to better see the results of my program, I'll click on erase all. Then I'll click on pen down. My mouse is ready to draw. And I'll click on repeat. And hooray, that's our first program. Our mouse draws this square. And probably I'll combine everything to a single program. I'll do pen down. I'll do erase all. I'll do this repeat. And one more fancy thing that I'm going to do. Like usually in Scratch, you start your program not by clicking on your code in your workspace, but by clicking on this fancy green flag. That's a standard way to start your program. However, now if I click on this fancy green flag, nothing happens. So to get there, I go to another block of instructions. It's called events. And in these events instructions, you can see like the very top instruction is this head block that I can drag. And this is an instruction, kind of one-way instruction. There is nothing that can be added on top of it. You see, like it's kind of curvy on top. And now, if you click, then your mouse draws a square. If you do this repeat more times, like 10 times, your mouse will still trace the same square. Now, we are mathematicians here. If you, we teachers of mathematics, if you want to play with the geometric aspect of the program, there are so many ways to extend and expand. So first, let me do some drawings. Right now, our mouse, for example, when it was working this way, we were sending it into 90 degrees turn. It's like, oh, sorry, like, it's hard to draw with my mouse. So it was tracing a square. What if my goal is to trace not a square, but for example, if I want to trace a triangle, an equilateral triangle. So let's see. An equilateral triangle looks like this. An inner angle of a triangle is 60 degrees. Okay, what if I wanted to ask my mouse to trace a triangle? Let's see. So suppose, let me switch to another color. It will be blue this time. My mouse is heading this way. Then it's, at this moment, it's facing right. And I wanted it to turn in such a way as to face this next direction, like head over there. Wow, the turn should be, okay, it should be 120 degrees. So by minor modification, instead of turning 90 by turning 120, I'll ask my mouse to draw something completely different. It's a triangle. And wow, we can play, you and your students can play. What will happen if you ask your mouse to turn by 60 degrees? So let me, okay, so first, like too much mess on my screen. Let me drag my mouse back. Now 60 degrees, what am I going to get? It looks like it's a hexagon. And you can go very fancy. Instead of 60 degrees, you can do, for example, I'll do something weird. I'll do 89 degrees. Almost 90 degrees, but a little bit less. And I'll do many more repetitions. You'll see why. I'll do 40 repetitions, and I want to save some time, guys. It's there, that just watch. It's just some fun extensions that I want to show you. Like, I want my mouse to be faster. So instead of 1 second, I added 0.1 second pauses. Let's see what am I going to get. Wow. It's kind of a weird and very cute pattern that you get there in a very simple way. So let's do 100 probably. So like there is a lot of exploration there. For younger kids, you can do simple drawings like a square, a staircase. For all the kids, you can start talking about triangles. Maybe can show them these fancy patterns. If you want to, you can play with like pen colors, pen widths, like you don't have to go with blue. Like for example, you can, okay, very nice way to change your colors. Like instead of you can, like I drag this set pen color instruction. I can change my colors in a very visual way. So I can go to reds, yellows, blues, or any colors that I like. I can make my pen thicker or thinner. Okay, let me probably change the angle and we'll immediately switch to the next program because I wanted to show you like other cool capabilities of Scratch. Okay, I think it's a very nice pattern. Let's restore our program back to our original square. I'll go back to 90 degrees and okay, that will be a square. So one more time. Scratch is very cool for explaining geometric concepts. Like I'm not talking about it, but there is a coordinate system there. There are many other geometric instructions. Like for example, like you can point in different directions. There is this visual thing that shows you like which angles you're working with. You can choose which way you're sending your mouse. There are all these like glide instructions that allow your mouse to move from one point of the screen to another. Anyway, so that was our first program. At this moment, I want to stop with it and to switch to a totally different program. Okay, so what I'm going to do there, like to start a new program in Scratch, File, like I'm clicking on this file on top. By the way, like if you have an account, this program will be saved in your account. Let me show you where everything you create in Scratch is stored. So that's my account. I'm logged in. So if I click on this arrow, if I go to my stuff, wow, then I'll see a lot like that's my last program. It's on the very top. And below are all these programs that I did in Scratch before. So everything is saved, nothing disappears, and it's very good. I'll go back to my draw square program. Okay, see inside. Okay, and let's create another good thing. You can always share your Scratch programs. Like if I click on this share button on the top, it's available only if I have my account. Then I can make my program public, and then I can copy link right there, copy link. And again, I'm just explaining you the idea of that. Like, don't try to follow, it's too many steps, like minor steps. But now I have a link. And in our chat, I'm going to share a link to my program. And you can open it and you'll be able to what's called remix it. Take my program and start improvising, make it your own. Start improvising using this program as a foundation for whatever you do. Next, let's go back to my original program. See inside. And I'll go to File, New. This will be my new program. And I'll probably call it Talk. And Talk program. So in this program, in this program, I'm going to introduce two characters. These characters will be conversing with each other, and one character will invite another character to dance, and this second character will be dancing. And probably and again, I can go with the cat that comes with a new Scratch program, and I'll add a partner for my cat. I'll go to choose a sprite. Probably I want a horse. So I'll type horse. Okay. So there is this horse, and like when I highlight this sprite, like, okay, later on we'll see why do we have this animation for this horse sprite. Anyway, I'm going to edit. Okay, now I have 2 characters in my program, and I'll be coding for each of my characters. And first things first, I do not like that my horse is facing away from my cat. So what I'm going to do, I'm clicking on my horse, and let's take a look at this tiny set of instructions that we have between this like program window and my sprites window. So right there, like there are certain parameters that I can change either like for each of my sprites. When I'm clicking on the cat, let me show you the click, okay. Then I'll be working with my cat instruction. It's currently called sprite1, I will name it cat. Okay. When I'm clicking on the horse, you see I'm working with the horse. So direction, my horse is facing right now. I want my horse to face left. So I'll simply drag my horse here. However, this way for the horse to face left is not a nice way for a horse to basically be. So really, okay, and it's something like what I also need to do, I need to change the rotational model of the horse. So I need to click on this button. Please rotate left or right, face left or right, but don't turn around. And now I have a horse who is facing my cat. Then probably I am not happy that my horse is too small. My program is not balanced. So you see, I'm still in the cat, in the horse, like editing the horse properties. So I can like, currently the size of my cat is 800, so 100, it's like percentages. I will make it a little bit bigger. I will set it to 120, and I can make my cat smaller. Then, again, can ignore it if I'm too fast, like you can always tune it up later. Let's get to important things. First, you can always make your program very nicely looking by adding what's called a backdrop. So when you're designing Scratch program, think about this, your program area as a stage. You have a stage with a horse and with this cat, like in a theater. And you can always add a backdrop for this stage that describe the scenery where this program takes place. So let me show you how to choose backdrops. So right there, we are going to go to this area that we have not investigated before. It's called stage. And right there, I'll click on this blue icon, very, very bottom right. And by clicking on this icon, oops, again, it was too fast. So like with clicking, okay, was too fast again. So highlighting it, you see again, there is this magnifying glass. I can choose a backdrop. So I go there, and there are plenty of backdrops for my program. I will just scroll down looking for the one that I like and that's suitable for my program. And I think Hayfield would do well. So I'm clicking on this Hayfield. And then magic happens. My program takes place in a hayfield. You can do a city, you can do a village, you can do a room, like whatever your story is. So this program that we are creating will be a story. So my horse will say, hello cat, and my cat will answer. So important, now I am clicking on the horse, like right there. Yes. Is it a question?
Yeah, did you stop sharing? I was following. I see your face now, not your work. Thank you.
Okay. So I'm clicking on the horse. Now I'm giving instructions for my horse. And you're ready to know that we start all the programs by clicking on the green flag. So I go to this event section. So when green flag is clicked, my horse is going to say, hello, cat. Now, talking instructions, it's a different section of instructions. We have not investigated them yet. So we are going to go to the section that's called looks. So in this looks, we are clicking on this looks. I'll choose the very top instruction. This one. Instructions say, my horse, dragging it here, connecting, is saying hello for 2 seconds. Let's check the end result of my program, what we have so far. I am clicking on the green flag. My horse says hello. Okay, probably I want it to be not hello. I'll retype, modify, hello cat. And probably I want my instruction to stay for a little bit longer, 4 seconds. Okay, hello cat for 4 seconds. Next, I want my cat to reply. And here is a very important moment, guys. When we code for different sprites, we need to make sure that we are coding in the workspace that belongs to this sprite. Right now, this cat is highlighted here. Sorry, this horse. Therefore, this code that we created is the code for the horse. You see, there is this tiny half-transparent icon of the horse indicating that all these instructions are for the horse. If I want my instructions to be instructions for the cat, the first thing I need to do, I need to click on this cat there. And after I clicked on this cat, I can see that these will be instructions for the cat, not for the horse. And what my instructions for the cat are? Again, I want to start with green flag. Clicking events, dragging on green flag. And again, I can go to looks. I can say, hello, horse. For, I don't know, 2 seconds. In this case, you see, like by clicking on these 2 sprites that I have 2 different programs. Each runs for this or that sprite. Now, if I click on this green flag, both of them are welcoming each other at the same time. And I don't like it. I want my horse to start and I want my cat to reply. So really, I need my cat to wait until the horse is finished. And you already know how to wait. There was this, when they were in controls, there was this very nice wait instruction. So I am clicking back to my cat. I am going to controls. I am dragging this wait. I am dropping it there before this welcoming instruction. I want the cat to wait. Well, my horse was talking for 5 minutes, for 5 seconds. So I want my cat to wait for at least 5 seconds. And then again, let my cat to be talking for 4 seconds. We are not in rush. So now run. Hello, cat. Okay, waiting. Hello, horse. Then I want my cat to invite my horse to do a dance. So I'm going to go back to looks, and then my cat is going to say, can you dance? It could be something else. It could be like, can you tell me a story? You can create a story with your kids if you want to, interactive story. But I want to say, can you dance? Okay, then it's time for the cat to reply. For the horse to reply, I click on the horse. Okay, we need to do some math. The cat was waiting for 5 seconds, saying his hi for 4 seconds and saying do you want to dance for another 2 seconds? So my cat need to wait. Sorry, my horse at this moment need to wait for 7 seconds. I think I do my math correctly. And there are other ways to come up. So for now, we'll go with wait. So the cat waits, and then he starts replying to the cat. So he, again, looks, reply. Yes, I can dance for example, 2 seconds, and then my cat will start dancing. Okay, how will my cat start dancing? And here is this cool thing about Scratch. Sprites? Think about sprites as about actors on stage. When an actor in a theater comes on stage, like sometimes he puts like this costume on, but probably it switches a costume sometime midway through their show. The same thing with Scratch costumes. With Scratch sprites. Many of them have different costumes that they could put on. And with to get to see costumes of ours as sprite, you go to this costumes tab that we haven't investigated yet. So I'm clicking on these costumes, and you see my cat and my horse both have 2 different costumes. And what I'm going to do, like I care about costumes of the cat, of the horse. So this and that. This will be my horse's dancing. So I'll go to the code. And wow, again, I'm in my looks instruction. And in my set block of look instructions, there are instructions about characters talking to each other, but also there are instructions about their visual appearance. So what I'm going to do, I'll choose the easiest instruction that is there. Next costume. I'll drag it here. I'll test this instruction by clicking. And wow, I do see that by clicking on this instruction, I invite my horse to get to a different costume. So what I'm going to do, wow, I want my horse to be repeating, switching these costumes. And I don't want to do like, I can combine a bunch of like next costumes together. And oh, first, I can see nothing. Like I click on these costumes. Next costume, I see nothing. I wonder, do you know why? It's a very interesting question. So if I do one next costume instruction, my horse switches a costume. If I combine a bunch of next costume instructions, wow, then nothing happens. I keep clicking on them, but my horse looks the way it originally looked. Okay, any ideas? What's going on there? Probably, yeah, if you don't have much time, I'll answer right away. It's a very good question to ask your students, by the way. So the thing is, our computers are very fast, really fast. So therefore, when a bunch of instructions is executed one after another, we don't have much time. Or yeah, we don't have time at all. So we need to add weights. So guys, what I'm going to do, I'm going to add a weight. Okay, then I'll go to repeat. We already did a repeat. We do next costume. Okay, and that's our completed program. So hello cat, hello horse. Okay, can you dance? Yes, I can dance. Okay, and that was our horse's dance. Okay, now I'm a little bit confused. Remind me, should we finish at 9:15 or at 9:30? How much more
You
time
have
do we have?
you have until 9:30, so you've got another 15.
Oh, very nice. Okay, I'll show you a few more cool things then. And then
Oh,
we'll have some time for questions and answers.
and also wrap up.
Okay, and wrap up, yes. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so it's like making, I agree, it's very cool. It's like making these little cartoon clips. And it doesn't have to be a horse and a cat. It could be, for example, an ocean bottom. It could be fish. It could be kids. It could be anything. So now, a few more cool things. Okay, let's go to this. Oh, first, let's erase. Let's go to this one other section we have not investigated. It's called sounds. And in sounds, I'm going to click on the sounds. And wow, you see, like right now my horse is highlighted. So let's see, we have something that looks like sounds. And indeed, many of our sprites come with sounds. So you can test your sound by clicking this play button. I am going to test mine. You can test yours. It will be noisy, but you're welcome to do it. Okay, it's horse hoofs. And this one is horse neighing. And probably after my horse finishes their dance, I want him to neigh. So therefore, I will go back to my code. I'll make sure that I'm in the horse sprite section of the code. And I'll go, you see, there is this, again, section of the instructions that's called sounds. We haven't worked with it yet. But the very top one, play sound. And I'm dragging it here. I can choose, there is this drop down arrow, like the list of the sound there corresponds to the sound that, like, we already saw. Okay, and guys, now I can click on this green flag again, and the horse will finish their dance by playing its sound. Instead of demonstrating this program to you, I better talk about more cool things that you can do with the sound. Another cool thing that you can do with the sound, you can record your own sound. Like, for example, your students, when they're designing their stories, can add their own voice to it. So let me show you how to do it. So if you go to this area, like to this icon, if I click on it, then you see there is this mic icon there. If I click on this mic, then, okay, okay, so then we can start recording whatever sound we want. Okay, so for example, I can record my own horse's neigh sound, or I'll record this story was created by Anna. Okay, this story was created by Anna. Stop recording. This story was created by Anna. I can edit, like there was some stuff at the start that I didn't want to have. I can remove it. So you see, like there are so it's a very nice sound editor. I can save. Now my horse has three sounds. The one that I just created, Anna, and two original ones. So I can complete my project by playing this sound, Anna, like my voice that I created this story. Okay, several more cool, like one more cool thing that I want to show you. Again, it's about creativity. Let's go to costumes again. We already know what costumes are, but we never talked about possibility to modify costumes. And this possibility is very cool. So for example, I will go to horse A. And what is happening here? Like the thing is, like, for example, I can, again, I'm showing it very fast. I can recolor my objects. Like all the sprites that I have there are composed from separate pieces that combine into a single picture. And each of these pieces can be edited, like visually edited on their own. Like, probably I don't want a purple horse. Oh, okay. But maybe I want a red horse. And maybe I want its tail to be green. I can do that. It's a lot of fun for kids. I can even modify it and like position it differently. So it's like I can make, oops. Okay, not ready to show. So let's see. Okay, so anyway, plenty to do there. You can, kids can draw their own sprites as well. And again, there are a lot more possibilities in Scratch that we don't, oh, wow, I made it huge now. Yes, let's, okay, what did I do? Let's go to costumes. Let's, oh, okay, do I have undo? Okay, it's a shame I restore sprite. Yes, somehow I deleted my sprite. And okay, what did I do? I didn't make it bigger. So let's see. Yes, my size became huge. Yes, I don't know what I think I retired. Yeah, I am back to my original size. Okay, so another project that we created is this, a story project. We can also create games. We can also create a lot of other things. We can create geometrical applications. We can create stories. We can create games. It's pretty easy to create cool games in Scratch. Probably instead of demonstrating more more add-ons to this program, let's better talk about how to get started with Scratch. So first, there is this this nice section, tutorials. This section, tutorials, is a very nice place to start. And when your program is open, you can get to tutorials by clicking on this button on top. And if you are just in generic Scratch environment, if you have not, so guys, before we do, let's see, so this program is shared. So I'll save it and I'll share my link to this project with you in the chat. So let's talk about the resources. So to everyone, the link to this project, let's go to the resources. So Scratch, MIT edu. Okay, create. We've been there. We created. Explore. It's a huge section, like there are millions of Scratchers in the world, and many of them choose to share their project there. And it's a lot of stuff, but it's very hard to orient yourself there because many Scratchers are very advanced. Some are more into games, music, others are to stories. Instead, we go to ideas. And when we go to ideas, that's where you get to this tutorials and getting started section. So there is a bunch of tutorials. You can choose a tutorial. It will explain you how to do. Okay, so let's just click on a tutorial by mistake. So there are plenty of tutorials there. Some are easier, some are more advanced. There are ideas about lessons there. So if you scroll down, more down, okay, now let's go to Scratch MIT EDU. Right now we can see tutorials only. But if we go to ideas, there will be also activity guides as well. Okay, there are these like collections of coding cards as PDFs. These are short challenges that you can ask your students to do. Okay, if you are interested to learn more about Scratch, it's quite possible for me to come to several more meetings. We can convert it into series. I can keep teaching you how to code in Scratch and share some of our projects that we like to do with our students. So probably at this moment, I'll stop sharing. Yeah, also YouTube. Yeah, if you go to YouTube, there will be a lot of tutorials on Scratch, though I cannot recommend a specific tutorial. Some of them are easier, some of them are harder, some of them are more specialized, some of them are less specialized. So I would definitely start from the official Scratch webpage. So I'll stop sharing. And let's wrap up.